Okay, we're going to be mainly on the mat, sitting down, but we're going to just start standing up for a moment. So, just bring your feet together, hands on your hips. Take your feet out, and drop them down. Okay. Just for a moment, with your hands nice and loose and shoulders nice and relaxed, just keep your hands as they are, but just close your eyes for a second. Just take a really long, slow, big, deep breath in. And then just let everything. Do that one more time. And let it go. And then drop your hands down. And then do the same breath, but take your hands up over your head, open your eyes. Pause at the top. And then just let them float down. That again, so turn the palms facing up, lifting. And back. And we're going to go up nice and high like we did before. Big deep breath in. And we're just going to drop one hand down, use it as a bit of support, and we're just going to lean across the body. So now you're going to feel that movement through the side of the body because it's linking to the hips and upwards. Inhale, come up over the top like a windmill. And use a hand to support you and just let the body get nice and heavy as it goes over, but make sure you feel supported. Let's do that one more time on the other side. Inhale, coming up and over. And then inhale over the top. And on to the other side. And then inhale, come up with both hands. Take them down behind your back, clasp them together. Let's draw the shoulders together and just let that back arch slightly. So we've got to stretch. So really think about the prominent stretch through the front of the body, letting that rib cage flat. Nice and loose. Take a deep breath in. Keep your hands still. We're going to contract through the tummy muscles. Tilt the tailbone forward. Keep your hands in place. And then inhale, take it back the other way. And the same principle. Keep your hands in place. Keep the shoulders still. So we're just literally moving through the bottom half of the body. Last time. Inhale. Let the knees bend as you contract. And then drop the hands. And just round through to the floor, right onto the top of your legs. Let your head have a wobble. And a breath. Push through your heels, come back up nice and high. And then bend the knees and let the body fall back. One more time like that. Inhale, coming up nice and high. And exhale, coming down. Let the head fall. Start to straighten the legs, straighten, and then give them a little bend again. So if you need to put your hands on your legs because you can't reach the ground, that's perfectly fine. All we're doing is warming through the backs of the knees up towards the tailbone. Just a couple more, nice and gently like that. Let the body hang with straight legs towards the ground. If you touch the ground, that's great. If not, don't worry. Just let the head fall. And with the straight legs, just see if you can have a little sway from side to side. You're not going to fall over. You can concentrate on keeping the core strong, but you're just going to feel that move all the way through the legs up towards the back. Bend your knees, reach your hands out in front. Just lower yourself into a nice low squat position. And then inhale, open up the hands, lift the head. And then we're going to keep the body as close to those legs as we can and tilt the weight forward and drop the hands down. Let that tailbone lift towards the ceiling so you can feel the stretch through the back of the hamstrings. Do that again, so a bit bend down into a nice squat. Hands up with the breath. Exhale, open. So, a good deep breath in. Body falls straight and the legs, tailbone's going to come up and drop the hands down. Give your head a nice gentle wobble again. Slight variation, we're going to lower the bum, lift the hands up, push through and come up to a nice tall position, and then reset the back, reset the hips, and back down. Feet slightly wider apart. Before we do anything, we're just going to sway. This is nice, isn't it? It's like what you do when you're at the discotheque when you're 12. You're damp, isn't it? So we're going to move from side to side. And start to draw figures of eights. So let the knees bend, but start to draw figures of eights with the hips. And I know it feels a bit unusual, but what we're trying to do is just warm all the way through those muscles. And you can even do a lift and, it's a bit like an 80s run, isn't it? I've got you. Lift and down. So let's start to move and push through the knee. And I'm moving this, my hands like this. Down. Move through. And then let's come down nice and wide and have a little side lunge. Nothing too much for the knees yet. And come back up and let's do that on to the other side. Back up. Just keep the breath nice and neutral. And again, up and down. Then come up nice and high and just have some movement through the hips. Keeping the feet quite far apart, be careful you don't put too much pressure on the knees. We're going to circle the hips. We want to get a nice stretch through the front and a nice opening through the back. We're just going to circle a nice big movement. You're going to feel that in the insides of your legs as well, which is important. And let's change in the opposite direction. If you're anything like me, you can feel it clicking. Nice and deep stretch. And come to a neutral. Your feet are apart. In stage one, I'm just as you can see. We're going to stick that out, run out as far as we can. And we're going to squat down with nice wide legs. Then lift and bring the hands down. Bring the hands out as you squat down. And lift and come out. One last time. Squat down. And lift and back down. Your knees are starting to get a bit warmer, but don't go too low if you feel you can't reach there. You're just going to keep your knees apart. You're going to do what we did before, so we're just going to lean to one side and back up. Onto the other side and back up. And this time, let's see if we can touch the ground. And then inhale, coming back up nice and high. And let's come down towards the other side. Inhale nice and high. And down to the other side. One more time on each side. Inhale nice and high. So you can go a little bit lower. Squat down with your bum. But if you can't, don't worry. If you want to be able to feel the stretch here. And again, coming up. And down. Then inhale, come back up. Open up your hands. Stretch the body to all the corners of the room. Let your wrists move. Put your hands back down onto your waist, neutralise your spine, and the simple principle as we had before, let's rotate. Let it get nice and high through the hips as you come forward, and nice and low through the body as you go back. So you're starting to really open up. And if you want to put your hands on your back or your legs to support yourself, go ahead. That's absolutely fine. So let's change directions. So you can really start to feel it move down the legs. You can feel it in the knees, so if you need to soften the knees, that's fine as well. One more time. And back up. Just turn your feet to the out. Let your knees have some movement. Squat back down. We're not going to squat out behind us, we're going to squat down in a straight line. So the knees are going to come out, body's in a nice straight line, like go down the bottom, you can't move from it, just going to go nice and neat. In this position, there's quite a lot of strain on the knees, so you can stay still, you can lift a little bit, but if you can, I want you to stay nice and low. You can feel that warming all the legs, all through the knees, all up towards them. Kind of relaxing it. Let's start to sway through the hips. I know, it's like we're at the club. We're having a little groove. This is how I dance when I go out. And then push up nice and high. Let's stretch it, open up like we did before, and back down. Just lay your feet back to that starting position. We're just warming and opening the hips, so just be gentle if it's too much. Okay, we're going to move down to one side like we did before. Turn the front foot and push into it. Lovely. Come back up and reset. Same direction. Breathe in nice and tall. Turn your foot, exhale and down. Hold your body up nice and high. Feel it working here on the inside of the hip. And back up. Exhale and down. Now let's have a look at our position. Let's make sure our knees on top of our heel. We've got that nice open position through the hips. So we're opening up the hips. Body's nice and high. Let's take the hands out to the side now. See how the shoulders and the hands are level? What I want you to do is going to change the position. So imagine from the belly button down, can't move it, just the top of the body. You're going to lean across and instantly what you feel is that the pressure will change on the inside of the leg. Sit back to neutral. Do that again, moving. And back. And in. And back, push through. Oh, that feels nice, doesn't it? Give it a release. Let the hips move. Have a little sway. Have a little rotate if you want. Just anything that feels. Now, same as we did on the other side. So we're going to put the hands on the hips. Breathe in. Let's lean down into that foot. And then change and drop. So we're going to feel that stretch. We're going to keep the body open. Back up. Move on to one side. So moving through the angles and having to hold ourselves as we do it. And back up. Last time to the side. Hold that if we can. Turn. And then we're going to open up the hands and reach out to the sides. Into warrior two. So place the hands down. Opening up the hips. Hands are in position. Remember what we said, we're going to keep the top half of the body moving, the bottom half is going to stay still. You're going to feel a bit of a line movement, your foot and your hip is in the same place. A big deep breath in, exhale and reach, inhale and back, exhale and reach, inhale and back. Make sure you're holding your tummy muscles as well, inhale and reach. Don't move with your hands, I move with your internal. Exhale, back up, push up, reach the hands up nice and high, and then let the hands drop. Walk. Nice. That feels nice on your hips now. Yeah, can be nice sometimes, you see. Let the feet have a move. And let the knees. Take your feet. Not wide like we did before, wide and hips distance. And just you have as your mat. I'm going to take the feet just slightly out to the corners, we're not all the way, slightly out. Then a sort of plie way, we're going to come down, touch the ground, straighten the legs and come back up. Let's add some breath into that. So hands on hips, plie down as we exhale. Down on the ground, straighten the legs and back up. Last time, hands onto hips, plie down, hands on the ground, straighten your legs and come back up. Now you can stay with that or you can bring the hands down, breathe in and come all the way down. Well done, excellent job. Straighten the legs, lift back up. Okay, same again. Let's bring the hands down all the way. And push back up. So we're not straightening the legs now, we're going straight down. Keep the hands over the head if we can. Put your hands there or down, it's up to you. Come all the way down. Place your hands down. And regardless if you're higher or you're low like me, let's just have a little move through those hips. Quite intense on the hips. Good job there. Keep your hands down. You're going to straighten and push the knees and the feet forward. Big deep breath in. Turn the heels in, drop the hips down. And again, we're going to come up, turn the heels to the parallel with the toes. Bend the knees, drop the hips back. Doing really well. One more time. Straighten, let the head fall forward. Bring the heels in and drop down. Excellent. Really good. And then in your own time, Oh, isn't it nice to be down? Not gonna lie. I'm down. And we're just going to look like we're running on the ground. But what we're doing is we're bouncing the bum from side to side. So we're just letting the muscles here warm up. Feel the muscles through the glutes, just having because it's banging against the ground, we're just giving them a little bit of a rest. Touch, and we can feel the core muscles move. Okay. Alex, I don't remember this, but remember when little Rosemary Conley, she used to do body dances. So we're going to walk back down the mat, so we can warm this area up, we're going to feel this area from the body, and then back down again. We're going to do that once. Well done. Travelling today, and then we're going to roll all the way down, take the hands over the head, and stretch the body out as much as we can. Point the toes. Let the feet have some movement. So we're really stretching through the body. And then slowly bring 1 foot, 2 foot up onto the floor, and then bring your knees in towards your chest. And let's have a little roll from side to side. So, really nice. Just gently massaging across the back. Hello, it is still morning. And let your feet move as well. Oh, now straighten your legs towards the ceiling and crook your feet. Now this isn't a stretch, this is for your hip health and strength. So we want to be very careful, but what we're going to do, you're either going to put your hands down by the sides of your body or hands out to the sides. It's entirely up to you how you do it. But we don't want to let there be a gap in between your back and the mat. So what we're going to be doing is pulling up and into the pelvic floor, pushing our lower spine underneath our belly button into the ground. So our hands are going to come out to the sides. And take a big deep breath in. We're going to lower 1 foot halfway without the back arching. So you're going to feel the front of the muscles in the body and the torso starting to act. You're going to feel it in your legs. So just big deep breath in. Hover half that distance again. Keep it off the ground. Don't let your back. Usually again, you're going to have to resist against lifting your back. So squeeze your tummy muscles up and underneath the rib cage. If you can lower that foot and inch off the ground and lift back up. And unfortunately, we're going to do the same leg again. So big deep breath in, half that distance again and hold it there. Legs are very straight, all the muscles are engaged, the tops of the thighs, not got floppy legs, the back's against the ground. Half that distance again, keep the breath, use the breath, breathe in. And inch off the ground and hover, 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 hover. Then lift back up, bend your knees to release. That's nice, isn't it? You can move around or you can just let the knees rest. We're activating the tops of the legs as much as anywhere else, so it's very important that we do release them as well. So we're going to lift the feet back up and we're going to do the same on the other side with the other legs. So let's take a big deep breath in. We're going to take one leg down, we're going to hover it. Legs are very engaged, thighs are engaged, knees are almost not locked, but close to against the ground, tummy muscles. If you were to touch your tummy muscles, you can feel them that act. Big deep breath in. Half that distance again. You might want to squeeze your bum muscle to hold yourself here, but make sure there's no pressure or pain in the hips. Big deep breath in. Hover an inch off the ground and hold. And keep your legs nice and focused straight. Inhale, lift that leg back up. Shall we do that again? Let the breath go. We're going to lower that leg again. Breathe in. Squeeze those muscles. Big deep breath in. Squeeze those legs. Let's half that distance. Really engage the top leg. Don't let it bend if we can help it. Big deep breath in. Just to hover it off the ground a couple of inches. Keep yourself here. Don't let your tummy give in. Keep your back engaged with the floor. Big deep breath in. And lift that leg up. Bring your knees in. And just this time, let your knees fall all the way to one side. And then roll over and fall all the way. Because you're going to have engaged your back and the muscles in your back to hold yourself there. So you just want to let them have a little release. One more time. And then back to neutral. Now, Drop one leg down towards the ground and we're going to hug the knee on the other side. So give it a nice big squeeze. And what we want to do is feel that there's a compression inside the hip towards the hip flexor. So we want to really pull it in as best as we can, keep it back in. You crook the foot or point the toe, it depends what feels good. Now, reach down with your opposite hand to your opposite foot. See if you can bring the foot closer towards your opposite shoulder. So what you're doing is keeping one knee, and then the opposite hand's going to pull that opposite foot close. You're going to feel that in the glute muscle and down. And if you feel you can, you're going to have a little rock from side to side. If not, keep it still. Or if you feel you can't and just holding it in position, the initial position is right for you, then just stay there. So we can have a little move. Have a little move from side to side. Doing this one now because we'll be doing pigeon in a minute, and that's even more intense, so we need to be careful. Take the leg up towards the ceiling. Give the back of your knee a little massage all the way down as heading towards the hamstring, and keeping your leg as straight as you can. And just a couple of times, just going to pull it towards. Not too much stress. It's just telling those hips, telling the knees that we're working and we need them to move. And then release your knee and place it back down. So you're going to feel like there's been quite a lot of compression from the hip flexor. So stretch through the body and have a nice big stretch. And let's move the feet again. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. So let's draw one knee in. We're going to hold onto that knee and we're going to give it a really big squeeze. Pulling it in, using your tummy muscles to hold yourself here. Squeeze as tightly as you can, using your arms engaged. Head's nice and loose, so there's no tension on the neck at all. Nice breath while we're holding and squeezing. We're going to feel that compression, let the breath go. And then let's see if we can take the hand down to the opposite foot, and gently pull it towards the opposite shoulder. Now only go as far as you can, and remember we're going to feel that ball inside the hip compress, but we're going to feel the stretch back into the bum, so just be careful. If you feel you can and you feel it's quite relieving, let's take the leg from side to side. When we're under a lot of stress, we've got a lot of responsibility, we're shouting at children to go to bed, we tend to, it all happens sort of in our hips, we hold ourselves here, this is how we keep ourselves rooted to the ground. So we tend to find that we are very tired. The release and tension through it is quite emotionally releasing, so we're just allowing all that tension, anxiety, frustration, stress. Think of it like that when you're moving, you're feeling nice, relieving. And if it's a little bit, take your leg up towards the ceiling, massage down the back of that knee again. And how often do we actually just touch the back of our knees and give them a nice rub? Very, very rarely. And moving into the hamstrings just to encourage that energy, the energy that flows through the back of the knees into the meridian inside the body. And then once we feel like we've had a nice massage, just a couple of times, just keep the leg as straight as you can. We're not trying to pull it and really force it, I just want you to feel like there's a little bit of movement. Not necessarily bouncing, but just feeling a little bit of, and release that knee. Relax that leg, and you'll feel that hip flexors have quite a lot of energy put through it. So we're going to stretch through it, and we're going to rotate our feet. Connected. Now place your feet on the ground. Place your hands down by the sides of the ball. What we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the bum muscle and we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Now it's really important that it happens underneath your bum. So in your own time, get yourself up there. While you're up, you're squeezing your glute muscle. There's nothing in the lower spine. The lower spine is nice and loose. Hips being pushed towards the ceiling. You're squeezing, pushing through your heels and squeezing and pushing that up, and you're going to feel that opening because there's lots of compression through the hips. And now we're relieving them. Nothing in the back. Keep your head facing up towards the ceiling. We don't want to damage the thyroid gland by moving the head around. Now hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll down from the neck towards the tailbone. Then bring the knees up towards the chest. And again, just have a little roll from just. And this is everybody's favourite. Cross your feet over, and we're going to rock up to sitting, and then we're going to rock back down. So what I want you to think about is your down the sides of your spine, on your spine is a lovely massage. So do that 3 or 4 times. 5 maybe, let's do 5. It's really good spinal flush, so it helps encourage energy movement and help encourage waste as well. So we're going to come up and we're going to sit on our knees, on our bum with our knees. And we're just going to let the head move for a moment. Let the shoulders rest. It's funny being up when we've been lying down for so long, isn't it? So we're going to bring the hands up, this position, push through and take up. And then we're going to rotate round the body, because although we've been holding the body very still, we're all connected. So when we move our bottom half, our top half should also be allowed some freedom as well. And let's change the direction, encouraging the release of the tension. And then open up the hands, drop them down. Now, place one hand to the side. We're thinking about opening up this area from the hip up towards the armpit. So we're going to inhale, lift the hands up. I'm going to reach across, have a nice stretch through that across the body. What we're going to do to start with is we're going to lean forward and lean back, and lean forward and lean back. Very gentle. What we're going to do is feel the shoulders move. We're going to feel that movement down towards the hips, and then we're going to reach out as far as we can, keep the bum against the ground and touch the knee in front. Let the head look down towards the ground. Keep the knees engaged and the bum very stationary. You're going to breathe in deeply and push your tummy muscles out. Now tuck your belly button against your spine. Draw it back, tuck, tuck. Okay, and underneath your see if you can creep your front hand forward just a little bit more. One more breath like that. Breath go. Let the whole body just flop down as much as you can in this position. Head's heading towards your opposite knee. And then draw your hand back, lift it up and over the head. And we're going to go over to the other side and have a nice big reach on the other side. A similar principle, you can do whatever you like with your arm, but we're just moving. When you want to do is feel that by moving backwards and forwards through the front and the back of the body. Very, very subtle. Encouraging that movement. And these are things, sitting like this, you might look a bit silly, but you can do this while you're sitting and watching the telly, just moving through the body. And then reaching across, let's touch the ground. Keep your knees and your bum in place. Drop your head down up towards them. Now breathe in, use your tummy muscles, really expand them. Put the air inside your spine to support it. So breathing in. And then exhale, try and bring your belly button, touch your spine, pull up through the pelvic floor in towards your ribcage and creep that hand forward just a little bit. And again, breathing in. Hold the breath there, and then squeeze the spine, draw it back all the way, and walk. Now let the body go floppy, let the arm go floppy, let everything just really going to feel that pulling through towards the arm muscle. And inhale, lifting up nice and high. And just releasing. You're going to feel that's all that here. So just allow the body to move away. Natural, relaxing away. And move as well. You feel that the tension's moving up and out. So let's allow that to happen. Remember, when we breathe in, we use the air to support spine. It's like when we get a delivery and we get those air pockets inside. That's what the air does when we're breathing in. When we exhale, we squeeze the muscles to support the spine. So it doesn't matter whether we're breathing in or exhaling. The muscles, spine muscles, spine, the column is also. We're going to bring ourselves up onto all fours. Now we've done this a couple of times, so you should be quite comfortable with it. And just before we do anything, we're just going to let those legs have some movement. How little we give these legs movement apart from when we're doing intense exercise. So we're going to very gently just tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So now you're going to open up your seat area and you're going to lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And exhale, contract and round and release that spine. Let that spine have a little bit of movement. And in this position with this arched spine, let's let the bum have a wiggle as well. So we're really allowing a little bit of a stretch to happen. The hips, the shoulder blade. And then back to neutral. Okay, let's take a breath in and lift that knee nice and high. Don't let your back arch. maintain the back. And all we're going to do is open, so rotate the knee backwards and feel as though you're opening up the hips 3 times in one direction. Now change your direction and let's bring it forward. So you're hurtling over the top. So lift it as high as you can to open. Tummies are contained, so we're using our stomach muscles to hold the head in place. And we're going to take the knee up. We're going to rotate it open. I know what it looks like. It's called peeing puppy. So it does look like we're having a relief. But we're just going to open there and then drop down. We're going to do that on the other side. So we're going to lift the knee up. Don't let the back arch. You can contain the tummy. Now let's lift it backwards and come down and over the top. It's a way of feeling it massage deep inside the hips. So although you're going to feel it in your bum and your legs, think about what's happening inside the hips in the middle part. And then change direction. So we're going to do 1, hurdle over the top, 2, and 3. Now take that leg up and tilt it up against the legs, but you know what I mean. I know it's not attractive, but it is helping strengthen the back of the body and relieve the front, and it's just helping balance. All the muscles get to work, and then bring it back down. And just relieve the lower back by arching through and rounding into child's pose, not going all the way. See, my body's still off the ground. I'm reaching but keeping everything lifted. And come back up, and let's do that again. Round, 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 round. Stretching through. And then come back up onto all fours. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Just have a little wiggle through the body. Nice circle with the bum, draw a little tennis ball behind you with the tailbone, and then change directions. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to draw the body back, lift up over the head, and stretch through. So what we want to do is relieve all of the stress through the rest of the body. Nice big stretch. Breathe in and let that ribcage really open up. Now contract, round, and bring your fingertips close towards your legs and really arch through. Tailbone's tilted forward, so you're squeezing underneath your bum, pushing your tailbone forward, and you're opening up the lower back and you're stretching through the top. And then walk your hands back down. What we're going to do, take a leg out behind us. I'm going to try fingertips, and all we're going to do is arch and pull that knee close towards the face as much as we can and hold. And then we're going to let the hands come down, place the knee down in between the hands, and walk the back foot out. Now this is where you're going to need your bolsters. Because what we're going to do is to start with, we'll all sit on top of our heel. You're going to feel that stretch through the hip flexor there. And what tends to happen is some people feel like they can't get that low, so they can actually put the muscle in between their heel and their bum. If you feel comfortably and you feel the heel in against the bottom of your glute muscle, you can actually bring your foot slightly in. But what we don't do, we don't sit down the bum, sink through the centre line. So we sink down, and we can't always get that way. We walk our back leg out a bit more. What we do, chin, whatever it is to support us, underneath the bum, you can even put it through the inside, and we sink down onto it. This is where you can hold a cushion over, make our towel a bit tighter, and we can. It means that while we're in this position, we have to regulate. Whichever we've chosen, even if I to fold it over, whichever we've chosen to do, we feel we can sink that bum onto it. Our hip bones are now level on either side of our body from the ground. We can walk that back knee back. We've got a nice stretch through the body. Walk your hands forward, pop your elbows down, and just find a little point. You might get to the point where you feel, oh, I can move the bolster, which is fine. What we don't do is try and sink to the side. If we want to go down, we walk that back foot out and lower ourselves down. Increases the stress on the hips, so if you need that bolster, keep it in place. Alternatively, if you feel like the bum's okay but the hip flexor is not alright, you can actually place the hip flexor just at the top of the thigh. Off just before it hits them, so it just catches your leg. So it's you've got alternatives on how the position. 2 bolsters, you should have one in each place. I'll let you. Now,
You might find this is quite intense already. I know there are people that do have flexible hips, and I know there are people that hate this. There's those that hate the position, come out. Those that find this okay, want to stay here, stay here. Those that want to go that little bit further. First of all, we turn the body away from the front knee towards the front foot, and let the body lean in towards us. And feel that movement change. Don't, if it's too much, you're going to feel that on the knees. So be careful, keep your bolster in place if you need it. And it'll lean in towards that point. Now, let's do the same on the other side. So we walk the hands all the way across and have a little move into it on the other side. Very intense. You're going to feel the compression and the stretch, and you're going to feel that hip flexor or maximum stretch. Keep breathing. Now back to centre. Now we're going to use the back. So even though we're down, we're going to lift the head. We're going to lift the body. And if you need to use your bolster or something to lean on, so you get a bit more, move the bolster out of the way. You can keep yourself quite low. But for those that can, we're going to lift the shoulders out, keep ourselves up nice and high. Now this is quite intense. I know not everybody's going to achieve this exact position, and you're going to feel a lot of stretching in front and a bit of compression in the back. So careful. Right, we're ready. So we're just going to bring this weight down, slide that foot out, and then, shall we? Now that's nice, isn't it? Feel that fresh blood flowing. Feels almost a bit cold, but it's soothing. It's nice when it returns back to life. So let's move it. Now, fortunately, those that hate this position, we do have to make things quite equal. So, back onto all fours, lift one foot up, come onto your fingertips, round through, contract, bring your knee in, hold, activating, release the stomach, releasing the spine, place your knee down, walk your back foot out. So start with, we're going to pop the bum on top of that heel. If you feel you need it again, you can place it underneath to support yourself. You can walk your foot to the inside line of the body, but you don't sink down to the side. If we need it, we pop the bolster underneath our bum. You can fold it. You can leave it. Get yourself into a position where you feel you can drop down comfortably. Or, like I said before, if this feels comfortable but it doesn't on the other side, we can put the bolster underneath our back hip flexor, so we're not getting a deep stretch. We've got being caught before it goes too far. Whichever position you've chosen, you might not want the bolster at all, which is fine. I'm going to walk the hands down. I'm going to make sure the hips are still level on either side of the body. And they're going to come down towards the mat. We're not going to drop our head down, we're going to use our elbows for support. This way, if we need to come out of it, we can do quickly, especially if your hips are not used to this. You might feel when you get down as well, you feel like, I might just need to have a little rock from side to side. It's like this one's a bit tighter, and if that's what your body feels like doing, then you should allow it to do that. Okay, but we are going to move around like we did before. So, if you feel you can, like I said, you can stay here, come out of it, or you can walk your hands round towards your front foot, away from your knee at the front, and let the body come forward. Now, again, putting quite a lot of pressure on the knees, so if you need to come out of it, you can do. Kind of breathing and relaxing is the best way to. Again, you might get over there and think, I need to wobble while I'm here, which will encourage the stretch, but it's what feels comfortable to you. So we don't want you to be in pain. We're trying to heal and help the body, not make it. Now, let's walk the hands all the way back round to the other side. We're going to take it near towards the front knee and bring the body as close as we can. Now, remember what I said, we've got a compression going on. We've got a lot of work in the knee. Big stretch through the back of the bum, and we've got the hip flexor and maximum stretch, so just be careful. Just kind of relax. You're probably thinking this is the worst stretch ever, but actually the one we're going to do in a moment is probably the worst, so learn to enjoy this. Now, walk your hands back round. If you can stay down if you want, if you feel you can, you go to the lift, and if you feel you can go all the way, you're going to try and keep your bones level, and you're going to lift the back. You're going to feel a stretch through into the body, but make sure that you don't feel there's too much compression. I've got quite a flexible spine, so
this kind of extension's okay for me, but what I want you guys to do is come forward if it feels. Now, hands come down. Let's slide that foot out. I bet you're thinking, glad that's over. Yes, no. Just let your knees move. Just bring your knees underneath your body, round through your spine as much as possible. What we're going to do is we're just going to relieve those hips. Out the hips. And then come up nice and high. Take your hands up to the head. Bring your hands into prayer. Just take a nice reset breath. Deep. Stretching the whole of the body. Big stretch. Bring the hands down. And let's turn it in the other direction. Turn the palms to this. Breathe in, back into prayer with the hands and come back down. Being rooted. So now we feel like our hips, and you might sometimes you get a bit emotional after this kind of thing. Sometimes you feel like you just want to sleep because you just feel so much tension. So we're just going to pop our body down. If you've got the towel bolster, you can do. You're going to pop our head onto it just to relax it, and we're going to let your body sink down onto that bolster. And this is not necessarily much to do with moving, it's just having a little relief of that intense release with pigeon pose. So we're just going to have a little breathe. So, with the body as close towards the legs as you feel you can. It doesn't matter if you can't touch your bum onto your heels. And well done to those that found that quite difficult. Just breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, let all of the muscles feel soft. Let the toes feel soft. And feel heavy at the shoulders. And do that again. Use the air to massage the lower spine, breathing in, expanding through the torso. More time. And let it go. Now gently push the hands away from the body into the ground. Lift your head up. And release. And then just bring yourself into a seated position here. Still going to need the bolster. I'm going to rest the hips on it. So to start with, all we're going to do is going to bring one foot in. In fact, even if we can't get the legs straight, it doesn't really matter. We're going to bring one foot in. We're going to keep the spine straight. I'm just going to work towards moving through the knee there. Just to release any tension we'll put through the knee. Quite intense that was on with the pigeon. And then opposite hand, so same hand onto your knee, opposite hand onto your foot. And what I want you to do is really open up the legs, straighten it, and move it around from side to side. So all of that tension we put in all the way through the knee, let it move any way you feel you can. Because we want to feel better. We don't want to feel it like it's down this strain. And something you can do, you can put your hand on your ankle, your heel, or the base of your foot, wherever you feel you comfortably can. So I want to see if you can just start to move through from the side. So don't put too much pressure on yourself to be able to do this. All we want to do is just move through that knee, move through the hip. And even if you're to the side, you can have a little sway from side to side. So even if you're holding onto your calf muscles to do it, what we're doing is relieving that. Okay, so just allowing ourselves to feel a little bit more. That's all we decide to do. And then we're going to let the leg go straight for a moment, and let the toe move, and then place the foot down next to the inside of the leg. With your bolster, I'm going to slide it very, very close towards the body. So your knee is quite high up. Okay, so it's going to cause compression. I want to crook the foot. And we're moving forward. We're going to reach up and we're going to stack on top of the vertebrae. We're not slumping, so stack on top of the vertebrae. Weights over the top of the tailbone. Hands are nice and high. Big deep breath in. We're going to lean, 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 reach, stop halfway, have a reach from side to side. So what we can do is we can feel it opening at the back of the spine. Reach, and then come down towards that foot and let the head fall. Because you've got your bolsters supporting your knee, you haven't got to worry about that side of the body. And all your weight's on one side, which is on the straight leg. So I'm going to let the body drop down. Now, if you feel a bit uncomfortable, you can actually slide your toes underneath your knee to soften your knee a little bit. Just drop the head down nice and comfortably. Remember, although the hips are important, so even if we're stretching them, we still need to be protected. Sometimes it's just a case of letting them relax for a minute and giving them a bit of life in their own time. See if you can move the body, the shoulders, like I will say like rainbows, I like the idea of rainbows, from side to side. What you can feel is stay nice and low, but what you're going to feel is the movement stretches from one side across the back to the other. This is what we want, a movement through the back. So all the way to the top of the hips on the body. Now what we're going to do is walk the hands around to the central line, in between the knee, in between the foot, diagonal position, and just drop the body down as best as you can. And you're going to feel that stretch move to the inside line of the leg and underneath the knee. Hopefully you'll feel it in the back as well. Let's have a couple of breaths. Relaxing. And again. And relax. One more breath. And relaxing. Now walk the hands back to the centre, recenter your body over your leg, let your head fall towards your knee. Just use your hands here for a bit of support so you can feel that stretch down the back. And then lift your head. Lift your hands and reset your spine and come back up. And then we've got to do the same on the other side because everything. So just put your bolster down to one side for a moment. Take hold of the base of your foot, and as we did before, lift up, sit up nice and tall on the spine as best as you can. You need to hold on to your calf to do it, that's fine. But think about having a straight spine more than anything, because what we don't want is good leg system. And the same principles we had before. Same arm, same knee, opposite hand, opposite foot. Let's start to rotate through the hips, moving in and out, up and down, straightening the leg. Anywhere that feels that you might feel like, oh, I really need to stretch out, feel that tension moving through and around. Nice and relaxing the hips. And for yourself, there should be no tension on your face. I know people concentrate, but there's a lot of downturned mouth, so let's have a smile. Feel good about yourself, doing something nice. And let's do the same again. You can either hold onto your calves, your heel, whatever you want. Let's take it in and out to the side. So now we're letting those muscles loosening them up, massaging them as well. You see, stretching them, fresh blood to them. And the same principle, if we feel we can have a little sway from side to side, if you need to hold onto your calves to do it, that's fine. What feels nice actually, because some people might find it uncomfortable, so if you just want to stay out of this one, you can do. The whole point is if it's uncomfortable, it might be that you've either got back problems, or you might have knee problems, or you might just need the work in the hips more, so just do it more gently. Put your foot down. Step. Rock it underneath your knee to keep it nice and high. Again, you can place your toes underneath your knee if you feel you can't just put it down. You want to let that knee sort of be a bit high, so we're doing compression. Now we want that compression. What you want to do is make the blood wash out, so when we come back up, fresh blood comes in, and it helps massage and lubricate and give fresh blood to that area. Hands up nice and high. Reaching up, let's reach forward, down towards the toes. In fact, let's lift the hands off the ground like we did before, because we have to keep it equal, and reach from side to side through the body, just to stretch down the sides of the body. And then come down and drop the head down. And as we did before, let's draw some rainbows. People have got rainbows in their windows, haven't they? But we haven't got them in our bodies. Go from side to side, just let the body nice and relaxed as you do it, so you're encouraging that movement, not putting too much pressure on. Let's walk both hands round to in between the knee and the foot, diagonally across, body weight down. Now you're going to feel again, you're going to feel that movement move to the inside of the leg. If you need to put your toes underneath your knee now to support yourself, you can. You've got your bolster supporting your knee. I want you to take a big deep breath in. Belly button and just see if you can walk a little bit more. This is where you're going to feel it in the back. We want to be very careful that we don't overstretch, we don't put too much pressure on the knee, and we feel comfortable in the position. Well, comfortable is probably not the right word. We want to feel a little bit uncomfortable because we want to feel it working, but we don't want to feel really ding. Let's do that again. Nice big deep breath in. And let the breath go. So these workouts aren't just for stretching, they're for strengthening. So you might find later on this feels uncomfortable because you've done this today, but the more you do it, the better and stronger your hips are going to be. So let's very gently walk the hands back over the front foot, bring the elbows nearer towards the body and just drop the head down so you can catch yourself with the hands. And as close to the back of the knee as you can. Up and breath. And back up. Now, you do not have to do the next one, but I do like to include it in my hip openers. Carpet, you're going to feel a lot happier than most. So what we're going to do is going to come onto all fours and we're going to walk our knees out to the side and let them slide down. Now, there's some rules to this. So first of all, your knees need to be in hip line with your hips. When you come down, we don't sink them back and we don't come forward. So in line with your knees and we're going to sink down. Have your feet come together. If you want, you can have them apart where it feels comfortable. We're going to come down towards our elbows. Now also what tends to happen is people stand their tummies. So we're going to tuck the tummy in. And the initial feeling of this pose, uncomfortable. Your brain is saying, you don't like this, you don't want to do this. So what we tend to do is we just breathe. So right, relax. Relax those hips, let them move, let them go. Do that again, relax. Let the knees slide, let them move. And eventually you'll feel those muscles just open up. Say, whenever you're stressed, this is where we test. This is our protection place, this is our fight or flight place. So this is where we protect ourselves. So we're protected right now. Nothing's going to happen to us. We're doing yoga and we're looking after ourselves. So this is when we can go, do you know what? It's okay just to relax. We're rooted, we know ourselves, we're confident, and we don't need to be under any stress emotionally. Let's let that stress move out of the hips. If you feel comfortable enough to have a little rock in between that point, do it, by all means. If not, stay there. If you want to come out of it and you've had enough, you can. But it's about teaching yourself to let go and know when to catch yourself, know when to say enough's enough. It is enough. And to let those tummies sag, tuck those tummies in. I can see people just relaxing, lovely, but letting their tummies go. One more breath. And then very gently, bring the elbows in, we'll walk the knees in, we'll walk the feet in, we come up and we round through the spine as much as possible. That's pretty. And then we'll lift the hands over the head. And what we're going to do is we're going to have some nice rotation. So come down, back up. So we're not thinking about the inside of the legs, although we can feel that they've had a little an adventure. You're going to move through the body and then we're going to take it back down in the other way. And you'll notice with all the workouts, we warm up, we do something quite intense, and we come down. And it's important we don't just start doing hip extravaganzas without the warm up and the movement first. We're all connected to each part of our body, so we have to make sure the whole body's warm. Nice and high, and exhale, bring yourself. And bring yourself back down into a cross-legged position again. What we're going to do is we're actually going to cross our legs in the opposite direction. Your feet. Rather than being, we seem to get it one way at school, don't we? And that's the same way we cross our legs our whole life, so we're going to go in the opposite direction. Let's just movement through the head. And through the shoulders. So let's have a little sway through the body. So you can see your tailbones, you can feel the weight move across from bum cheek to bum cheek. You know, your tailbones have a little sway, but really everything's quite rooted. It's the top of the body. Imagine it's like a ship, so the whole, it stays in the water, but it's very rooted. And exhales and moving up and back. So we're going to stay. But the whole point is, it doesn't matter what happens, we know we can find our place again in the middle, because we're nice and grounded, nice and rooted. So we're just going to have a little move through those shoulders. And then just put the hands down and let them start to sway over the top, so it's more fluid. And look, even though we're leaning over, we've got such a nice stretch to our body now that we can keep that tailbone engaged. We don't need to lift the knees up to the floor, and we're in control of our body, so that's important. One more time on each side. That's it. And then come back to them. And take a breath in. Put your hand onto your opposite knee, stay on the central axis, take your hand behind there, drawing back your shoulders, pulling your shoulder blades together and looking over your back, placing your hand down. Now think about your shoulder blades drawing in and just trying to flare the rib cage a little bit, lifting it towards the ceiling, head looking behind you. Deep breath in. Go. And again. Inhale, come all the way back to centre. And then with exhale, rotate, open that shoulder, stay on the central axis, place the hand behind, look over that shoulder. Take a nice big deep breath in. Soften the tummy muscles, rib cage flare slightly. Exhale, let the breath go. And again. And rotate back to centre. Just let those shoulders have some movement now, just pressure in the middle of the back. And let the head move as well as it come down. One of the things I like to do is just start to draw a figure 8 with the nose, and you can go nice and low, so you're drawing it with the nose on the ground. And then you can start to raise up, so you're drawing out in front, and then look towards the ceiling, draw a little. Careful when you do come up, because you might put too much pressure on it. So whatever feels comfortable for you. That head move, you might feel the more you move, you think, oh yeah, nice. Don't put yourself in a position where your head, you know, when you crick your neck, it's really uncomfortable. So it's more being mindful about your movement. And back to your new. One more thing on each side of the body. So we're breathing nice and tall. We're going to turn on central axis, come forward, and then release the breath. Inhale at the other knee and come up. We're going to retain the breath, retain, come down, retain. And now exhale all the way around the front, so we can feel that stretch as we retain the breath. One more time and up. Turn, keep it in. Now exhale, coming round. Back up, stop at the top, breathe in. Other direction, retain that breath and put your hand on the ground if you need it for support, retain. Exhale, round the front, back up. Pull your back, breathe in. Retain and hold, keep that stretch going. Now exhale, soften tummy muscles round the front, inhale back up. Retain as we come down. Exhale, round the front. Inhale back. And just let it. In this position, just allow your shoulders and your back. You can even add some arms in if you want. Just, it's how fluid and how nice you might want to circle the shoulders as you do it, but it's letting the back move up and down independently of the legs. And then back to neutral one last time like we did before. Way through the shoulders, move the body forward, and let that tension moving up from the hips and out, so that the head is good. Get yourself into a comfortable position with your legs if you want. Over you can if you want to get them out in front of that. But we're going to set an intention for the day. We're going to close our eyes. I'm just going to relax the body. Spine engaged, with shoulders nice and relaxed and face is relaxed. I'm just going to take a couple of breaths. So it's relieving breaths. So it's not concentrated, it's just breathing in. And let just all that tension we've been holding in our hips, we've released it. So let's let it out through the mouth. Let's do this again. Down into the ground as we let the breath. Let the shoulders be here. Just some affirmations and intentions for the day. So keeping the breath going with your eyes closed, just going to say to yourself, I am strong, I am confident, I let go of unnecessary stress I let go of everything that no longer serves me. I am empowered, and I can take on the day being strong, but with a nice, gentle approach. I do not have to race or force myself in or onto anything. Bring your hands into prayer. All right. Take your hands up. Open up the hands. Look up at the hands, think about those intentions you set. You're not letting those hips take that stress anymore. Bring the hands down towards the heart. We're giving the compassionate, kind to ourselves. Namaste.